And we're back. What's up, everybody? Benja, Welldone, coming at you live on this beautiful day. It's a very special day. Today is actually episode 100 of my YouTube and podcast comedy show called Benja, Welldone Comedy, which documents my rise to comedy since moving to Texas a little over a year ago from DC. I gotta give a quick shout out to all the countries that have been supporting me. I most recently had over 1,000 downloads, so if I say you're a country, not your city, it's because there's too many. Just being honest. So I got listeners in the United States, Austria, Philippines, India, United Kingdom, Australia, Spain, Germany, Brazil, shout out to Brazil, Romania, France, Canada, Poland, Ireland, Switzerland, Argentina, Sweden, United Arab Emirates, Chile, Peru, Hungary, Indonesia, Senegal, New Zealand, Mexico, Portugal, Finland, Ecuador, Croatia, Yemen, Colombia, Singapore, Moldova, Czechia, Uruguay, Russia, Sri Lanka, Greece, and Italy. So, with that being mentioned, thank you guys for making it possible for what it is today. I'm also on all streaming platforms where you can listen to music at: iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Alexa, you name it. I'm on them all. Sorry about that. I was trying to do some logistical information and more stats. But anyway, North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, and Oceania. I give you all my love and thanks for making my show what it is today. And also a special shout out and thanks to my dear friend Eric, who I'd probably be doing a lot better in life if I listened to him sooner, because he's always right, especially when it has to do with me. So with that being mentioned, this is just a quick thank you to everybody. I'll be adding on to this episode talking about who knows what. But yeah, it's primarily just me ranting and talking trash and joking around. So, and primarily, of course, documenting my rise to comedy. It's been really tough with this whole Corona period, and I try not to be selfish, but I am naturally. I'm just being honest, because my situation is better than others, and others is better than mine. But to be able to pursue comedy, I have to be able to go to shows and do stuff like that. So I had a lot of momentum literally within the week of the first closure. I had a really big show out in Arkansas, and that was the beginning of the closures. And since then, everything's sort of been up Schitt's Creek. You know what I mean? So I do feel like I'm kind of in a holding pattern as far as being able to be creative. I'm doing a lot of writing. And I know something is really funny, in my humble opinion, when I make myself laugh. When I think of an idea or when I'm writing something, I have a very aggressive style of humor. It's like, it's kind of dark and it's upbeat and it's quick. You know, if my music were to be a type of music, it would be a combination of like, I hate to say it, but maybe like it's upbeat, but it's kind of like rock and roll meets techno, or no, rock and roll meets house music. But I love rap too. I just don't feel like, I haven't lived that life that a lot of people in rap have. But I guess that's how I combine it. So just a little bit about me, in case you don't know anything about me. I'm an Army vet. Went to college in Russia. I'm married, and I moved from DC to pursue comedy full time. I do have a day job, but I'm passionate about my comedy, and I love Texas. It's, in my opinion, the greatest state in the entire country. But I've also lived all around the world. Like I mentioned, I went to college in Russia, and I'm an Army vet, so I've had a lot of experiences with all of our great branches of the military, and I'm so thankful for them. Shout out to all the police officers that also listen to my channel. And I've been on a lot of vacations, South America, North America, Asia, Europe, especially Europe. I still gotta make quite a few trips. I'd like to go to Thailand and some other places, but right now, everything, including vacations, those are all on hold, So anyway, with that being mentioned, I'm sure I'm going to have more things to say throughout this week. It's only, it's Thursday. It's still early. But I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody that's listening and watching me. If you watch up to this long, scratch my nose. I guess it's itch. I'm not really sure. Well, hold on, that's scratching. What is this? I guess rubbing. But I'm like, I'm rubbing inside my nose with my hand to my nose. You do one of these, you like push down. I don't like scratching. Yeah, anyway, so that's my show. Yeah, I wish the best for everybody. I hope the best for everybody. And I feel like everybody is in this together in the most unselfish way possible. I think that everybody has their own ambitions and their own goals and their own dreams and everything that they're working on. But at least I have a way to partially work on it, which is through writing. But comedy, in a lot of ways, I've said it before and I'll say it again, a lot of it's like a theory. And you can only test it in front of a live audience. Because if I think something is extremely funny and I say it out loud and it gets a laugh, well, that registers, okay, that works. And when something doesn't, I leave it out or I work on it. And that's pretty much the formula to success. But I would say what separates my comedy from other people's, in all honesty, is my style. Because one of the biggest feedback that I always get about me is that I have such a diverse lifestyle. I'm a white guy who primarily had only black friends, always, from DC. I speak 4 languages. I speak Russian, Portuguese, Spanish, and English. I'm speaking English right now. My Spanish is really bad, and my Portuguese is not great at all. But the reason why I include those is because my wife, she's Brazilian. When we go down there, my Portuguese is really, really good. And it only gets really good because I used to be fluent, like straight up fluent in Spanish. But once I got married, I stopped speaking Spanish. I started speaking Portuguese. So now my Spanish, after about 5 words, comes out as Portuguese. But hypothetically, if you drop me off in Mexico, I'm sure I'll pick it up pretty quick because I literally did go through lessons in school and speaking and the fluency of the language, but I don't ever have somebody to speak it with. You know what I mean? So, but Russian is, because I live there. I went to college there. But even then, my grammar isn't the best. However, just to contradict myself again, if I were to go there, hypothetically, it's funny because Russian is, in a lot of ways, it's kind of like the Latin root language of all the Eastern European countries. I remember one time I was in Czech Republic, and I had a full conversation with a guy. He was speaking Czech, and I was speaking Russian back to him, and we both knew what we were saying because the root words are like so close together. You know what I mean? And that also happened when I had the Ukrainian friend Artyom. So shout out to Ukraine. Yeah, it's an interesting language. I can do a whole rant about it, but basically you don't really have in between words. Instead of like I going store, it's like instead of like I am going to the store, it's just I going store. Some people say it's barbaric. I wouldn't really agree with that. I just think they get straight to the point. But it's funny because when you hear a person that's like Russian or something like that speak English, a lot of times it sounds so rudimentary, like they're just leaving words out because they don't know them. It's not that they don't know what a means or the. It just doesn't make sense. So they don't even have the words. They omit it when they speak English. It's not like at the end of a film, it might say the end. Well, there's only one end. It's not many endings. It's just one end, like one beginning, one end. So like in a Bible, in their Bible, it wouldn't say in the beginning. It would just say in beginning. There's only one beginning. How many beginnings can you have? How many endings can you have? It's just one ending. So they might be like I go in store, So yeah. Okay. So enough praise to everybody else. Thank you so much. Also, just a side note, if anybody ever has a question about absolutely anything, if I think it would be really, really cool, and I've been saying this for a while, but it just hasn't happened. If anybody has any life question about absolutely anything, I'm far from an expert of advice, but I think it'd be great to get like an interaction with the people that listen. So if you're listening to this now and you got a question about absolutely anything in life, please give me a shout out. Email me at Benja, Benja, Welldone, Welldone. Okay, just like well done, like good job, at gmail.com. And tell me whatever your situation is. I will mention it in my next show, on my next video, Yeah, But I'll keep you anonymous, but I'll roast the shit out of your situation, bringing light to it, and then answer it in a serious, more, just better way, bringing light to your situation. I'm on all media streaming platforms of MP3, Spotify, iTunes, Google Music, or whatever it's called, Alexa, you name it. You just look me up and I'm there. So shout out to everybody. Thank you so much for love and support, and I can't wait to do big things for you guys in the future. And myself mostly of all, because hey, everybody wants the best for themselves, right? And I appreciate your support. So thank you again to everybody. I'm Benja Welldone. Check me out. Until next time, thank you again and peace. I'm out.